An appropriate setting for today's memorial. Wouldn't you agree? The clouds are overcast. It's not too sunny, too bright, a little chilly, but I just think that it's amazingly appropriate for what we're doing. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us on this somber occasion. We take time to reflect on the tragedies that resulted in the loss of children this past year and our collective efforts to do something about that. My name is Michelle Hale, and I work at Child Law Services as the Support Services Director, and I know firsthand that not all tragedies result in loss, but the tragedies of abuse and neglect can also live long in the lives of our children well into their adulthood. Since 1999, we've held this service every year with the exception of 2020, and that was when COVID restrictions prohibited gathering. The Children's Memorial flag has been flying at this county courthouse right up above you during the month of April as a symbol and reminder of the children who succumbed to child abuse and other preventable causes in our community. The headlines, newscasts, and death notices have all too often been about a child who was beaten, the one who was accidentally shot and killed, the teen who succumbed to an overdose, or children killed by an inebriated driver. To start us off, I'm going to recognize our own Mercer County Teen Court, represented today by Matthew Arnold Hale for the Pledge of Allegiance, and Jean Buckner, who will read the CMFD proclamation. Our Teen Court teens are a group of teens who are keen to make a difference in their world by being a part of their community and breaking stigma related to poverty, background, gender, and or race. Mr. Buckner has been a champion for children, as you well know, both personally and professionally for a long time. At this time, Matthew.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
And if Mr. Buckner could come forward, please. He's not here. Mr. Archer. I'm going to go ahead and thank you so much.
It's a proclamation that we passed in our county commission on the 11th day of April of 2023. Whereas children are the future of West Virginia, and we continue to work toward a state that is greater for them than the one we grew up in, and whereas finding solutions to child maltreatment requires input and action from everyone, and educational efforts increase public awareness about ways to recognize and prevent child abuse. And whereas prevention remains the best defense for all our children and families, and whereas the Children's Memorial flag has become a recognizable symbol of all the need to do a better job of protecting children, and whereas approximately 3 million children are reported abused and neglected in this country each year, and whereas effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of the partnerships created among social service agencies, schools, religious and civic organizations, law enforcement agencies, and the business community, and whereas all citizens should become more aware of the negative effects of child abuse and its prevention within their communities, and become involved in supporting parents to raise their children in a safe, nurturing environment. Now, therefore, we, the Mercer County Commission, do hereby proclaim that April 2023 is Child Abuse Prevention Month and the designated month to display the Children's Memorial flag in Mercer County, West Virginia. We further designate Friday, April 28th, 2023, as Children's Memorial Flag Day, and invite the Mercer County citizens to attend a rededication service and remembrance walk to the Mercer County Courthouse at noon today. It was all signed by all three of us commissioners on that date. Thank you.
As we're waiting for them to get set up, I just want to say this is Straley Elementary. They're going to be singing for us today, and they're probably a little nervous, so just kind of remember that. If you could, just give them a hand clap for coming out today. There are so many of you out there who fight every day to ensure trauma and tragedies not happen to our kids. I mean, we have everyone from hospitals, police departments, rescue squads, Child Protect, Children's Home Society, just to name literally a few of the ones who I could just go on and on and on and name, tirelessly fighting the fight to ensure our kids are kept safe whenever and however possible. Every year, we like to bring attention to some of our stars. And these people have made a significant impact on children. I'm proud to present the first award today. So I just want to take a moment and tell you about the recipient of this award, if I could. This year's award goes to someone who has worn many hats for the sake of children. As a child law board member, mother, teacher, foster parent, adoptive parent, and friend, she's at it 24/7 to ensure our children have a bright future by loving them, being involved in policies and budgets, educating them, linking them to resources for physical and emotional health, and advocating for them. Her heart is bigger than anyone we know. We think of her as a courageous modern-day superwoman. From tutoring students during her spare time, to organizing book drives for Mercer County students, to supporting her students' extracurricular activities, there's nothing she will not do. Her smile is bright, her energy is contagious, and the passion she displays for children every day is inspiring. If you ask her, she will tell you that children are her jam. If you ask us, we'll tell you that she's ours. This award goes to Amber Calloway.
I just want to say thank you to everybody. This was definitely an honor and a surprise, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Next, we'll recognize Child Protect if they would like to come up and present their award.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tanya with the Child Protect and the Starting Points Family Support Center. Today, we would like to recognize one of our own. This individual embodies kindness, empathy, and compassion. She is hardworking and strong. Over the past year, she has not only been successful in her role as a visitation specialist, but she has chaired committees at our organization, led support groups, crafted our newsletter, and obtained her master's degree in social work. As Teddy Roosevelt once said, the best prize that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. This individual has achieved the prize of hard work. Today, we would like to recognize Jessica Witt. Despite personal trials, Jessica has excelled in her field. She is always first to volunteer when there is a need and provide assistance to comfort families. She has even earned the nickname as Miss Jess to all those she helps. Congratulations, Jessica.
This is such an honor. Thank you so much. Hello, I'm Lindsay Pack. I'm the CAC Program Coordinator at Child Protect. Today I'm here to recognize a really outstanding child advocate in our community. I could spend all day telling you guys about how smart and kind and compassionate and steadfast this person is. She really is all those things, but I wanted to share some really concrete examples why Erica Ramsey is my own personal hero. At our office, we refer to Erica as Mrs. One Last Thing. That's because she always has just one more thing to get done before she feels comfortable leaving for the day. One last thing might not sound like much to most of you, but it usually involves a call to a family, which results in an hour-long conversation because Erica's super excellent empathetic listener. She puts countless hours of overtime to make sure families are both heard and seen. Erica's a giver, quite literally. I've seen her give children, families, and team members food or goodies out of her own lunchbox. I feel certain she'd quite literally take the shirt off her back and give it to someone if they needed it. She's always thinking of others, making sure needs are met, bellies are full, and people are comfortable. Lastly, Erica is absolutely the person I want on my team in the event of an apocalypse. She is the most calm, cool, collected person regardless of the situation or emergency. She's level-headed, patient, and fierce when she needs to be. She's a fighter. She fights every day to provide kids in our community with healthy childhoods. All these things make Erica an amazing advocate for children and families. She always goes the extra mile. I admire her, and I'm really, really honored to present this award to her.
Next, I would like to ask the West Virginia Department of Health and Human Services to come up and recognize their awards.
Hello, I'm Thomas Johnson, CPS Supervisor with the DHHR. The person I'm about to present to exemplifies what it means to be a social worker. She is one of the most dedicated, kind-hearted, and hard-working people I've ever had the pleasure of working with. She's been with CPS working on initial assessments for about 4 years. That means she's the front line and often first personal contact for the abused and neglected children in our community. She's a leader and a mentor amongst her peers. I couldn't be more proud of this young lady. I present this award to Bailey Battle.
Hello, I'm Allison. I work for the West Virginia Department of Health and Human Resources too. I also had a person that I wanted to nominate for this. When you think about CPS and what it means to be a CPS worker, the first thing that comes to your mind is selflessness. Long hours, many miles traveled, canceling of personal plans, stepping up when it's needed to help fellow co-workers to ensure the job is done, for that day at least. Coupled with dealing with various difficult things that come naturally with this job and this position, part of being a great CPS worker is always being there for your coworkers as well, to help uplift and encourage. And I couldn't think of a better example of a role of an amazing CPS worker rather than my personal worker, Elizabeth Street. She takes pride in her role and her job to fight to ensure that her kids are protected and taken care of. She's also the father of our unit, and I don't know what I'd do without her. I couldn't think of a better way to recognize Liz and all of her tireless efforts to protect kids. So it's my greatest honor to present this to you.
And now if Children's Home Society, their representative could come forward and recognize their awards for the day.
A little too tall for that one. First, I just want to extend my gracious thanks to everyone who attended today and everyone who lended a hand to help put all this together. If you look on the back of your program, I just put down some people that really helped us out. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. With that being said, I wanted to take a moment to recognize somebody very dear to my heart from Children's Home Society. We have a wonderful crop of social workers that partner together with us to achieve our mission. But this year, I wanted to recognize somebody that's very special and has done a plethora of wonderful work in our community. So first, my name is Jenna. I'm the new director at Children's Home Society, so if you don't know me, hi, we'll probably be talking soon. But anyways, I wanted to recognize somebody today who has a passion for children and a high caliber of dedication to her community and a passion for her profession. Before Kristen Nelson even became a social worker, I'm gonna cry. Before she even became a social worker, she was one. It's an extension of who she is. In her 3 years working at Children's Home Society, Kristen has coordinated the weekend mentoring program, and she was hired in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. And this is when our program numbers and our efforts were at their lowest. But ever since her first moment starting with the agency, she didn't bat an eye at the low numbers or the difficulty and the barriers that COVID set before her. Instead, she could be found conducting home visits on front porches and delivering groceries to isolated families. She rebuilt what COVID seemed to destroy, and the program is the strongest it has been in many years. Her extraordinary efforts have seen over 140 children be matched with a child mentor in the last 3 years. Kristen's efforts have gone as far as to lend to federal research on the impact of child mentoring in the United States. I could continue to speak all day for all that Kristen has done within the community and with the agency, but I think it all can be encompassed by the true aspect of who she is. She loves her community, and she loves to serve those around her wholeheartedly. Any opportunity she gets, inside and outside of work. She's a fearless leader, and she's not afraid to speak up for the need to see change. She's one who never takes her focus off of the best interests of a child and often seeks out whatever resource necessary to ensure the best outcomes for children are reached. Since Kristen has taken this position and this role in the agency, the program has only continued to grow and become better and better. The slogan with Weekend Mentoring is, "We can make a difference one child at a time." And Kristen is one who has surely done that. I can't wait to see what else you accomplish.
I just want to say thank you. Very big surprise, but I'm very humbled to receive this award with so many awesome professionals and advocates we have in this community. So, thank you.
What amazing, strong heroes we have. Oh, I'm so sorry. We have more. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I know we're all ready to move on with our day and have our lunch, but we are so fortunate to have so many amazing advocates for children in Mercer County, and so we have at least 2 more for sure to give out before we're done. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Nola Gum with Concord University and also Children's Home Society here in Princeton. And if you don't know me, then congratulations. It means you probably haven't had to have much interaction with me at this point. I wanted to take a couple minutes to recognize one of our amazing advocates in our community who very often seeks to avoid recognition for the work that they do. And they put a great deal of effort into ensuring that the children in our community have access to what they need, they are safe, and they have homes to go to, and they have food on their table, and they have everything that they could possibly need to really not just survive, but thrive in our community. This is someone who I know through multiple social work roles I've had in the community over a number of years. And as I sat down to write a speech out on paper, it turned into really a comedy script based on numerous interactions we've had throughout the community and home visits we've been on and adventures we've had. So I decided instead to just speak from the heart today and let everyone know how much I love and appreciate Laura Sorosky. Sorry, I'm gonna get teary-eyed. Don't cry, you're gonna make me cry. I've already cried today with our amazing musical selection. Laura is an amazing advocate for the kids in this community across many roles I've known her through. I've been very fortunate to work with Laura at Child Protective Services and in a mental health setting where we were providers, not clients, believe it or not. And also in her current role now as school social work extraordinaire through a couple of different schools and a lot of wonderful interactions that we've had. And I just always want to sing her praises and how much she puts forth to protect and take care of all the children in our communities, not just the ones we hear about on TV, not just the ones that we might recognize from whatever it may be, but the thousands upon thousands of children that have what they need because of advocates like Laura Sorosky. And so it's my honor to present you today with this certificate.
I'm surprised Nola hasn't deleted my phone number at this point because she probably cringes every time she sees it. But I'm truly honored and completely surprised with this, and I just feel like it's an honor to work with all the child advocates in Mercer County doing what we love and what we know, so thank you.
Well, I'm old school. I've got a piece of paper here, not a phone. But hi, everyone. It's so good to see all of these advocates. Is that better? Okay. There's a siren out there too. So it's so good to see all of these advocates for children gathered together to recommit their efforts to keep children safe and well. And this next special advocate for children has made the extra effort to help keep children on many fronts. Some are known and other efforts are a little more behind the scenes. She began her child welfare advocacy on the front lines of Child Protective Services, making critical and potentially life and death decisions for abused and neglected children. Having witnessed the complexities and pitfalls and struggles for both parents and children in the child welfare system, she chose to make mental health needs her priority and sought to provide therapy to children, first at Southern Highlands Community Mental Health Center, then with Children's Home Society. She excelled as a therapist, and her small contracted caseload soon grew. At the same time, NOLA grew in her knowledge, her skills, her credentials as a trauma-based and play therapist. She acquired her LICSW in clinical social work and more recently completed her doctorate in social work. Awesome. NOLA is also an excellent teacher. So in addition to providing therapy and clinical supervision to other therapists and trainings for social workers and foster parents, she is also instructing students at Concord University's MSW program. One behind-the-scenes advocacy role is her representation of mental health needs on Mercer County's Multidisciplinary Investigative Team, the MDIT. Lindsay Pack, whom you've heard speak earlier, serves with NOLA on the MDIT, and she shared, "What I like most about NOLA is her role as an advocate for children never wavers. She is always in position to advocate for kids. I've never once heard her place doubt in a child or their story. She puts the needs of the child first at all costs. She is mindful of both what the child wants and what the child needs. She is progressive in her thought and always places heavy emphasis on mental health. On our MDIT team, she is always keeping team members respectfully in check with the mental health needs of a child and their family." I'm sure she does. She is a fierce, unwavering advocate for children, child safety, and healthy childhoods. I'm proud to know her and work with her. There is no question that NOLA has a full plate professionally and that she positively impacts the health, safety, and well-being of our community through her therapy interventions, her careful supervision of colleagues, and instruction and mentoring of social workers. Yet I believe her most impressive and important child advocacy role is evident in her fearless and determined advocacy as a mother to two beautiful and lively girls. For all of you who know Nola Gum, you likely also know how devoted she is to Macy and Amy. I am so happy to present this special advocate recognition to Dr. Nola Gum.
Absolutely surprised. I thought I was the one giving surprises today, not receiving them. This means so much more to me than anything I've ever received, and I'm sorry for crying twice. I promise this is the last time, but I just want you guys, really everyone, to know that addressing child welfare needs and child abuse in our community is a community level effort, and every single person here is a champion for children, and so I'm grateful to have everybody here, and I'm even more grateful for this. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Let's give everyone a round of applause again. Amazing. Such heroes among us. Next, we have Edwin Bennett coming to introduce our keynote speaker.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today to celebrate those that are advocating for children and the work that they do in protecting our children. The keynote speaker for tonight, for today, is our Commissioner, Jeffrey Pack. I thought about coming up here and telling you about his education, telling you about his time in the legislature, all that good stuff. But I think the more important thing, at least for me, is the stance that he has taken to help support my staff. He is probably the most supportive commissioner that we've ever had within the agency. Most people, when they think of commissioners, think of high and lofty tower in Charleston, never getting out. We've seen Jeff more here than any commissioner that has been with the department since I've been with it in the last 26 years. In addition to that, he's worked tirelessly to increase the working conditions for our Department of Health and Human Resources worker. He not only does this work at the state office, he does it locally as well. When tragedy hits our Mercer County office, he came down to say, "Are you guys okay?" He also encourages my staff on a regular basis, not only sending them emails, which everybody can crank out a quick little email saying thank you, but he writes personal handwritten notes to my staff thanking them for the work that they do when they've done something great. He's really been encouraging. Above all that, not only does he get down into the office to help out with staff, literally we've had children in hotel rooms and Jeff says, "I'll take a shift, let me go help and sit with that kid in that hotel room," which is something that a commissioner office would never thought in times past. So we appreciate Jeff and his advocacy that he does for the department, the advocacy that he does to protect the children throughout the state. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Commissioner Jeff Pack.
Thank you all so much for inviting me to be here today. I'll be honest with you. Several weeks back when Edwin emailed me and asked if I would come over and do this, I said, "Yeah, I'd love to do that. That'd be great." And I've been looking forward to it ever since. But admittedly, since I got that email, I've been thinking a lot about what I want to say. And nothing immediately came to mind. And that didn't concern me a lot until this morning. Told the folks over in the office, I said, I don't know what I'm gonna say. So I sat over there this morning and I took down some notes and I thought about it. I said, okay, I've got it. And then I got over here and I got completely overwhelmed with all of this and I decided I need to throw it out. I think what you're doing here, the fact that you're having an event like this, says far more than what you probably realize. The fact that you're willing to take a moment and recognize what's going on in your community, that you're willing to take a moment and think about some of the hard things that we don't like to think about, is very telling. As I was listening to the presentations, and it occurred to me that what can I possibly say to add to this? I was thinking, many of you probably know this. It was made famous in the movie Saving Private Ryan, but during the Civil War, President Lincoln wrote a letter to a lady who had lost 5 of her children, 5 of her sons in battle. Part of that letter he wrote was, he said, "I feel how weak and fruitless must be any words of mine that should attempt to beguile you the grief of a loss so overwhelming." And that's kind of how I feel. I don't know that I have the words to appropriately appreciate what all of you do. But nonetheless, I do think that none of us can do this on our own. A CPS worker can't do this on their own. CACs across the state cannot do this on their own. Service providers across the state cannot do this on their own. A commissioner can't do this on his own or her own. And I think it takes a village. I think it takes a village marching in the same direction and working toward a common goal, that we say, we're going to overcome this. We're going to overcome the effects of substance abuse. We're going to overcome the effects of poverty. We're going to overcome the generational things that have occurred that leads to systemic child abuse generation after generation after generation. Edwin pointed out something that I think is important to me. You know, all of you do amazing work, and it's very difficult and it's very trying. And there are a lot of days that I'm sure you ask yourself, what am I doing? Because there are a lot of days that I ask myself, what am I doing? But we persevere, and through that perseverance, we build character. And through that character, we leave a lasting legacy to our families and our communities. And I want to be part of a solution where we can all get together and say, this is our goal, here's our plan to get there, and here's what we're going to do hand in hand to move forward so that our children have a better life. I do want to say, finally, that the highlight of my career thus far is serving in this role. It's challenging, no doubt, but I don't know if you've ever had a job that you woke up every morning and you say, I get to go to work, but I wake up every morning and I get to go to work. I don't have to go to work. But the reason that I love my job is not because of a fancy title or a nice office or any of those trappings that goes with it. It's because that I get to be a part of a team with folks like that standing right there. These folks are amazing. They're nothing short of amazing. And the fact that I get to be counted among them is honoring and humbling to me. So I don't want to miss the opportunity to personally say thank you to all of you all over there who show up at CPS every day and make a difference. So with that being said, I will not delay your festivities any longer, but I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Pack, so much. Sometimes we know that your job is thankless in many ways, so we appreciate you coming and sharing the day with us. Next, we're gonna do something that's a little fun. We all enjoy this, and that's the coloring contest test results. So if Kristen Nelson would come forward, she's gonna present our awards to our winners.
Hi everyone, like she said, my name's Kristen Nelson. This is my coworker Lindsay Short. She's going to help me today. But we are here to announce the winners of our 2023 coloring contest. We hold this contest every single year in honor of Children's Memorial Flag Day. This year we had over 700 Mercer County students participate from pre-K all the way to 3rd grade. Before I begin, I want to thank the Mercer County Board of Education and all of the school staff who made this coloring contest possible. We appreciate you so much, what you do day in and day out for our kids, whether you're a social worker, a teacher, administrator, other support staff in our schools. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. All right, so we have 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place prizes for every grade. So we'll have 15 winners today. Each winner is going to receive a certificate and a gift card as their prize. All the coloring sheets we have submitted are hanging in the courthouse behind me. Yes, all 700 of them are hanging in there. I highly encourage you today after this event to go look at them. They are so sweet. We have a ton of little lovely artists here in our community. And if you are one of our winners, after we dismiss, you can go inside. All of the winning coloring contest sheets are on this left wall as soon as you walk in, and it'll have a little ribbon on it for whatever place you won. Feel free to take a picture with it, take it off the wall, and take it home. All right. So without further ado, starting with pre-K, In third place, I have Miss Kaya Carrington from Mercer County Early Learning Center. All right. In second place, I have Miss Natalie Neal, Mercer County Early Learning Center. Oh, here she comes. Congrats. All right, in first place, I have Victoria McKinney, Mercer County Early Learning Center. Okay. All right, kindergarten. In third place, I have Madison Lane from Mountain Valley. In second place, I have Grace Ponder from Bluefield Primary. In first place, I have Trey Kress from Bluefield Primary. All right, moving to first grade, I have in third place, Macy Hatfield from Melrose Elementary. All right, in second place, I have Elliot Bowling from Athens Elementary. And then in first place, I have Braylon Blankenship from Melrose. Okay, second grade. In third place, I have Brantley Boyd, Princeton Primary. Second place, I have Kamaya Tilley from Princeton Primary. And then first place, second grade, I have Alexandria McClanahan from Princeton Primary. Okay, third grade. In third place, I have Charlie Lily Folds from Melrose. In second place, I have Bariah Halsey from Melrose. And then finally, in first place, I have Ember Christian from Melrose. Congrats to all of our winners.
If you haven't had a chance to look at all the contestants and their entrants, please do so afterwards. They're wonderful, wonderful. Before we move on to the memorial bell ringing, we're going to ask Mr. Edwin Bennett to come back up. He's going to give us some information about abuse that's happened this past year.
I'm not sure if y'all have looked at your bulletin there that you were provided as far as the agenda of what's going on. On the left-hand side, it has some statistics that are quite surprising and shocking. National statistics report that 1 in 7 children experience abuse or neglect in 2022. For the state of West Virginia, basically what that translates to is to 36,190 referrals for abuse or neglect investigations. Of those within the state, 22,880 of them were investigated by the Department of Health and Human Resources in regards to abuse or neglect. That's a lot of kids. The good news, that is down. It's one of the first years that it's went down, so that's down as far as the number of reports of abuse and neglect. So we are making a difference. In Mercer County, we had 1,413 referrals get called in. We've investigated 1,023 of those. And again, that is down from years past, so that's really great. But even with that, we're still ranked number 5 in the state as far as CPS referrals per county. Children in care within our state, we got 6,140 kids in our care at the end of the year, end of last year. That 212 of those were from Mercer County. That again ranks us up number 6 with children that are in care because of abuse or neglect or other issues in their home. So it's kind of startling when you start looking at those things. Preliminary numbers from the medical examiner's office indicated a statistic that's kind of shocked me and Bill Archer. We were discussing it earlier than this. This year meaning the last reporting year, 2022, there were 69 preventable deaths of children in West Virginia, according to preliminary data, including some here in Mercer County. That number is higher than we have seen in years. In fact, I don't even remember seeing that number that high. So 69 preventable deaths here in in West Virginia, including some here in Mercer County. So we do still have a long ways to go. But with the help of the advocates that we have here, we can address those children's needs. And at this time, I'll turn it over.
Lastly, I want to invite you to join me for a moment of silence for those children we've lost this last year due to abuse. I will say this before we have that, following the ringing of the memorial bell, I would like to invite you all to form a line. We're going to go around the courthouse. We do this every year, and basically we're going to march around the courthouse remembering those we lost and recommitting to the fight and call to action to protect our kids and give them a life they can enjoy and live fully. And I want to say thank you to Mr. Bill Archer. He's going to be ringing the bell. So everyone join me for a moment of silence, please.